Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Oh, good. Thank you for coming to help us launch our capital campaign to expand our shelter so we can keep saving and changing lives. This means so much. We are so fortunate to have you here. We have our spikers, raise your hand, from the Chamber of Commerce. We have our board, raise your hand. Wonderful, awesome people. And forgive me if I miss anybody. LDS Humanitarian is here. We appreciate you for being here. We have our media. Bless you. We really appreciate you folks. 13, 17. Yes, we have Ryan Wilcox, representative. Ryan Wilcox. I mean, you're awesome. We have our construction people. We have Bot Pantone Architects, plus Tyler and Matt from Wadman Corporation. We have Karen Thurber, who is amazing with us. Eric Temple, who has done our video for us. We couldn't do it without it. You folks, staff, raise your hand. Our staff is unreal. We have Weber State, yes. Volunteers, we consider you staff. Raise your hand. I mean, Jay. Weber State's here. Love those folks. I mean, we are so fortunate. How can you lose with an amazing group like this? What I want to do now is have Dave Dunn give us some remarks. He's over our campaign. John Browning's right there. He is over our board, our president of our board. So please come up and let's get everything going. Thanks again, folks.
Well, that's great. Thanks, Julie. Good morning. On behalf of the Ycc Crisis Center, I welcome you. I'm David Dunn, and along with John Browning, co-chair of the Capital Campaign Committee. For over 40 years, the Ycc has been a mainstay in the structure that supports displaced families in Weber and Morgan counties. Now, there are many functions that the Ycc provides. However, the greatest need they fill is protection against domestic abuse and violence. When the happily forever after marriage turns into a nightmare, where does the woman go when she finds her children and herself in a suffocating and seemingly irreversible abuse situation? Who can offer her children a warm bed, protection and care, nourishing food and housing, when she is literally out on the streets? This woman could be your next door neighbor. She could be in the family down the street. Abuse in our time is real, and it is agonizing to the victims. The Ycc today is uniquely qualified to be the safe haven for women and children who become victims. We are the answer. However, today, when the need is so great, there is a problem. Our facility is past capacity to take in families in need. We are turning away women and children who literally have no other viable options. We need more room, and we need it now. Last year, over 450 women and children were given safety and shelter by the Ycc. That is an increase of 17% over the previous year. And 134 women and children, nearly 1 in 4, had to be turned away because there simply was no room. We are here this morning to ask for your help. Through a comprehensive construction and remodeling project, we will expand and upgrade our existing shelter on the second floor, nearly doubling our capacity so that we can provide safety and security to the women and children in our community. To protect those women and children while they are in our Family Crisis Center, we need to install a new security entrance into our facility. This is just a necessity in today's environment. To help break the cycle of domestic abuse requires more than just housing for a few days. With the increase to our shelter comes the need to move and to upgrade our classrooms to teach the skills necessary to break the cycle of abuse and to teach and support advancements towards self-sufficiency. Now, I invite you, since a picture's more than 1,000 words and you're probably tired of hearing from me, to view a short video which is produced by Eric Temple, and we thank you, Eric, for that, wherein Julie Smith, our executive director, explains the need. Eric?
For decades, your Community Connection, or YCC, has been a beacon of hope for victims of domestic violence in Weber and Morgan counties.
This is a safe place to come and be able to heal from domestic violence, from rape, from sexual assault. We know where services are available to help people get what they need. We do protective services. We literally go to court with individuals. We explain the process to them so they know what they need to do in order to get, hopefully, where they want to be.
It's awesome that there are people out there that make it their life's mission and their goal and their career in life to find people like me and put them in a better situation.
But now it is YCC that is in need of a helping hand. With only 5 bedrooms in its domestic violence unit, YCC is raising funds to expand the shelter so that victims of domestic violence are not turned away.
I'll never forget the lady that had 4 children. The first time she called, she said, "I have 45 minutes to get out. Help me." And we said, "I'm sorry, we're full." Unfortunately, she did wind up in the hospital once before we could get her into the shelter. We have got to have room for those that need our help when they call, because obviously they're in very dangerous situations and they need to be able to get in immediately. We've got to expand.
When fully funded, the expansion will more than double the number of people that the domestic violence shelter can accommodate, from 26 clients up to 62. This will mean that YCC will no longer have to turn away people in need. The renovation will also include a wing for male victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse, plus 2 new classrooms.
Right now, we have got 5 bedrooms for 26 people. And when you are in a crisis situation, it's very difficult to be sharing a room with another family. They are literally packed in there. We want them to have the space to be able to relax, to heal, to hopefully be able to get what they need to feel confident about themselves. Right now, our clients come in, they have to sit down in the lobby for a little while until we can get somebody to them. They won't do that anymore. They'll have the lobby upstairs, they will go upstairs in privacy, and they will have the caseworkers right there with their offices and be able to give them what they need a lot faster, more conveniently.
One thing I really wish the community could, they need to see it. They need to know what the Ycc does and all of the help that they offer and the miraculous changes they're making in people's lives. Because a lot of the people who have been through domestic violence have no idea that there's anything worthwhile about them. They just don't know, and there is. And we've got to fund this. We've got to make this better. We need this place. So many people need this place. Needs to know that they can survive and thrive. Because thriving doesn't enter the equation until someone tells you you can't.
Another issue that the expansion of Ycc will address is the safety and security of its clients.
911's on our speed dial, so if we have an abuser perpetrator coming, banging on our doors, and we literally have had them on the roofs, trying to get in windows, all kinds of things. This way, what happens is we're going to have it so that the doors have to be buzzed through. No one can get through without being, okayed through a security system. So it's going to be much more secure and safe for not just our clients, but for our staff, frankly, as well.
Your community connection is a vital yet little known resource for those in crisis in northern Utah. By providing food, shelter, clothing, safe housing, and counseling for its clients, your community connection is a light in the darkness for those in need. And now Ycc needs your help.
I would hope that people would donate because they care about this community. They care about public safety. They care about people's futures. And they want to make sure that everyone has a chance to live a life free of violence, to have self-respect, and at the end of the day be able to say that they feel good about themselves and that they are going to be able to give back someday just like they've received.
Well, Eric, thank you. That was a much needed and well done video. Folks, we need to raise $1.5 million, and we need to do it quickly. And you don't want to hear from me anymore. I'm going to bring up someone that's better dressed than I am. Jeannie Hall, who is a board member and wonderful supporter of the Ycc, and is just a force of nature. We talk about Alan, but we know who really drives that.
Thanks, Dave. This is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity for our community. Alan and I are blessed with 16 grandchildren, and we have 3 6th grade grandchildren, one in Roy, one in Riverdale, and one in North Ogden. And this year, we involved our 3 6th grade grandchildren with their entire 6th grade classes from each of their elementary schools. So we had between 100 and 150 children from each of those 3 schools come to the Ycc, and they got to take a personal tour through the Ycc. And I asked the children, we had them all in the big community room there, packed in there. I asked them to stand up, and you know what, this little group right here, will you just stand up 1 minute? Just from Carlotta over. Just stand right up. Now, half of you are mothers, and the rest of you are children, and you're all going to sleep in the same room tonight. But you're from 4 different families. How do you feel about that? Just look around who you're going to be bumping with. Thank you. Thank you. That is a little creepy, isn't it? I mean, I like my privacy, and I can't imagine having someone attack me, someone that I love, someone that is the father of my children, and because he's gotten a bottle of alcohol or he's abused something or he had a bad day at work, he comes home and he takes it out on me, and I am terrified that he's going to take it out on my children. And so I flee to the Ycc, to your community connection. I flee there in terror for my life, and then I'm bunking with a bunch of total strangers. I can't imagine bunking on my own, but to add the trauma of other families and other mothers and their trauma, it's more than I can even imagine. So these little sixth graders from these 3 schools raised over $5,000 in just a few weeks. They gathered food, they gathered clothing, they gathered toiletry supplies, they gathered all kinds of things in addition to the money. And they informed their parents about the YCC. That is our mission. As a board, as community members, we need to let people know that we are here, that the YCC is here, that it fills an enormous, enormous need in our community for mothers and children and sometimes even for dads. But these are our neighbors. These are not people that just have come in from who knows where, and we love them too, but these are people that have lived here and may live in your next door home, may be in church with you on Sunday. And you lean over and you see them in the same pew and they've got a black eye or you just don't know who is suffering from domestic violence. So the need is critical. I just need to tell you one other thing. I serve another group that worked for, helped to do something for the YCC. LDS Humanities provided some schooling kits and some personal hygiene kits. Because when mothers come, you don't get to pack your suitcase. I just went on a little trip and it took me a whole day to figure out what I was going to take. And you know, I'm leaving my house, I've got 3 kids who are all crying or half beat up, and I'm just out the door. So LDS Humanities provided some wonderful things, and my kids at Boys and Girls Club in Roy put them all together, and it was wonderful. But then Julie came and talked, and I was sitting in the bleachers listening to Julie talk about why these children were assembling these wonderful hygiene kits and school supplies for YCC, and the Boys and Girls Club kids brought food and things too. And a little boy leaned over to the little boy next to him and he said, "I know about YCC. That's where my mom and I went." It happens right here in our community, throughout our county, and YCC is here for all of us. Be excited, be enthused. I just want you to know, we brought this up at a board meeting 2 or 3 board meetings ago, and I raised my hand and I said, "We're doing it now," and I went right home and I said, "Brother Hall, we're doing it," and we did. So our check is not in the mail, it's in the bank, and I want all of yours there too.
All right, folks, once again, Janae, I got to say hi to Janae. Standard examiner. The website is up. It is ycchope.org. And we're asking you to please donate. Give all those folks out there that need it the hope to go forward, to make a difference, so that we all can have a brighter future.